Hi, host Carly here with another episode of Gender Pop, your friendly neighborhood podcast that is all about gender and the ways we relate to it through the lens of pop culture. Today, my guest is the fantastic Tara Garwood. She's a filmmaker, a writer, and a horror aficionado. Tara knows her stuff and is wonderfully passionate about it, so this episode should definitely perk your ears up. Also, just a word of warning, I wasn't in my usual space during the recording of this, so there may be an occasional rogue dog bark or my sound dipping. Anyway, we talk about 2024's The Substance. It's unrelenting, it's monstrous, and a whole lot of fun. Here we go. Hello, Tara. Thanks for coming on Gender Pop.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Of course. So today we'll be talking about The Substance. It came out just last year in 2024. By saying that, I just dated this podcast, but it's all right. Uh, So I'm just going to go ahead and read the synopsis that I get from IMDb because I always find their synopses very amusing with how kind of vague or misleading they can be. Um,
Yeah.
a fading celebrity takes a black market drug, a cell replicating substance that creates a younger, better version of herself.
Yeah. I mean,
It's not too bad, but it's like,
it's
again,
sparse,
very,
but it gets
yeah,
the point across.
that's what we want though, right? Like, you don't want to give the
Yeah.
game away too much, especially with a movie that's been
No.
talked about so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you gave it away too much in the description, like for the movie itself and people are gonna watch it, that I don't know, you ruin it. Like it's so zany and just weird and random and not what you would expect that
Yep.
I think it would ruin it if you knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Totally.
Some people
Like,
write entire dissertations, and I'm like, why? Don't put that on IMDb. Put that somewhere else for like
yeah,
people who want the
yeah.
discussion.
So wait, are we doing spoilers here though? Are we
Oh
assuming people have
yeah.
already seen it? Okay,
Oh yeah, big
spoilers.
time.
Great.
Because it's that we couldn't
Great.
have a conversation really much otherwise.
Good.
So
So say I was
yeah.
like, this is gonna be hard to talk about if it's a
No,
non-spoiler
go into
podcast.
it as
Okay,
much as you want. I warn people ahead of time.
girl, I
But
will.
so I'll just start off really with why is this one that you chose to talk about?
Oh yeah. Well, as you know, Carly, I am a female filmmaker and I tend to focus on horror films um, about women. So I like to tell women's stories through the lens of horror. And this is obviously an amazing example of that to me. So I thought it was a good one to talk about because it's so very much what I would love to do. I really admire Coralie Fargiat. I think that's how you say her name, Coralie Fargiat. I don't know. She's French. I'm probably saying it totally wrong. It's probably
I've
like
said it like three,
Fargiat.
every time I say it, I say
Yeah,
it in a different way. So,
Coralie Fargiat or
yep.
something. I don't know. But I really admire Miss Coralie, the writer director, for just kind of going balls to the wall on this, for lack of a better term. I don't know what you say, tits out. Trying to think of a less masculine way to
Unapologetic.
say it. Yeah, unapologetic. I mean, it's so raw in its sort of emotional impact, but it's also so weird and out there and gory and gross, which a lot, like, you don't women don't do that as much. Like I want to see women's, like, this is body horror. Like I tell my friends, whenever my friends asked about it and I'd seen it and they hadn't, and they were like, well, what is it? What's it like? And I'm like, so imagine if David Cronenberg was a woman making like a really feminist film. That's The Substance. Like, it feels to me like, I mean, I know there are other filmmakers that people reference, like David Lynch and stuff like that, but like I really think it's like very much a Cronenberg homage. Like all the body horror, all the
Well,
zaniness.
she makes a lot of like pretty, I guess, obvious references to a lot of other films throughout it too,
That
which
too,
I found
yeah,
very
yeah.
interesting. Like there's nods to like The Shining, 2001, Citizen Kane.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh my God, the bathroom scene is so The
yeah.
Shining bathroom.
That's
Like,
why someone's
that's
like,
just the
"Are you
bathroom
sure?" And I'm
from The
like,
Shining.
"Yeah, yeah."
Yeah, it's just the bathroom from The Shining. Like maybe a little more modern, but like they
There's
definitely
yeah.
painted it whatever to it looks exactly like it. It's perfect. Yeah, I love that. I love that shot. that whole scene is mwah.
There's
Um,
a breakdown of it that she did on YouTube for some, maybe it was like Vanity
yes,
Fair or something.
I watched it. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I'll link to
When
it.
she
I was
talks
like,
about how,
yeah.
oh, sorry. When
No, go
she
ahead.
talks about how they like put the camera so it was like it was over the urinal when he like comes up and he's like right in the camera and his like nose is huge. But she said, it's not just about like him being like huge and distorted. It's like he's peeing on you
Yeah.
while he's saying all this disgusting stuff. It's like he's peeing on the audience. Yeah, it's so I don't know, it just goes hard. It goes real hard.
Well, that kind of like segues nicely into a question about the character of Harvey.
Hmm.
And there's kind of become an infamous scene with him having a meeting with Elizabeth Sparkles, who's the lead character of the film.
Hmm. Hmm.
Her older version, quote unquote, even though she's
Right.
only like 50, I think.
I
Um,
know. She's just turned 50.
and yeah, he's just like eating shrimp so incredibly grotesquely.
Uh,
And like
he's like,
she
uh,
focuses on it so like it's so graphic that you think it would have
yeah.
like content warning on it, but it's just
Well,
eating shrimp. But yeah,
and
so I
it's
just yeah.
so it's so metaphorical too, because it's like he is casually without thought destroying the shrimp the way he is casually without thought destroying her career. Like it's just like, oh, it's just shrimp. It's my dinner. I'm just making a mess of it and throwing away some of the good bits because I'm eating it like a fucking pig. Like, and then the fly like drowning in the wine glass.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's
so two things about that scene
mhm,
is one, she's talked about how that was like one of the few scenes the studio wanted cut from it, and she found that
mhm.
very interesting,
Yeah.
and how visceral it was.
Yeah.
And then two, I have since seen her debut film for Revenge that she did like
Oh,
in
I
the mid
so want to see
2010s
it.
or something.
Oh, I want to see it.
I watched it about like maybe a month ago. And there's
Yeah.
a similar scene where she has like a very close up of a man eating like it's a candy bar of some sort or something.
Yeah.
And it's during a very harrowing, traumatic scene for the female lead. Um, and I obviously instantly thought of the shrimp scene from this, and I was like, this is a
Mhm.
thing for her. It's kind of like a motif for her, and it's like
Yeah.
I have to assume it's kind of making a commentary on like the appetites of men and how so cavalierly they
Yeah.
just
The way they
consume
chew
and eat
women up
up.
and spit them
Yeah.
out.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I just found it
Yeah.
really interesting that that popped up in Revenge as well. And I was like, all right, she's kind of like bringing that to a bigger audience with the substance of
Yeah.
like, this is the thing that you're going to hate, but that's the kind of reaction I want to elicit from you.
Yeah. And I think that she said she actually said that to the producers, and they were like, this is too much. We got to take it out. She was like, no, that's exactly why it needs to be in. She's like, we want people to feel disgusted. We want people to be like, oh God, like, and not like it, because that's how they need to feel about what's happening to her and about this guy. Um,
And
you know,
just
and
what
I actually
happens
just,
to women in the real world, like this, she's trying to telegraph
yeah,
how
yeah,
horrific the experience of these kind of societal standards are to women, obviously in a
yeah.
very heightened way, but it's
Well, it's funny, talking about like her portraying like how the world treats women, especially older women, right?
mm,
But I was reading some reviews, like, just sort of like seeing what other people were saying about it. And a couple of them were talking about, I think it was especially one in Slate that I was reading, that they were talking about how like the other characters besides like her and Sue are too like one-dimensional, and that like they're not real. And I'm like, but I think like, to me, I think that was part of the point, that they are not characters so much as they are influences on her psyche. So I think that the film is not actually about what the world is doing to her. That is the background that we need to know to understand what she is doing to herself. And I think that's what the film is actually about, is what we as women do to ourselves because of the way the world treats
the
us.
internalization of all that bullshit
Hmm.
we're being fed to.
Yeah. Which is why I think it doesn't matter if the other people are as like, have as much depth or are as well fleshed out, because it's really about her internal workings, and like she is both the protagonist and the antagonist.
Mm.
They are just influences. that have created her antagonist. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
That's
that's
how I think
really
of it,
well
at
put.
least.
I
Yeah,
think
that's how
also
I think of
like
it.
yeah, I don't have a problem with the characterization of the other like ancillary characters because like I feel like they're there to reinforce the message because like
Exactly.
you either have people that are just helping to further her self-loathing,
Mhm.
or you have the one character from the childhood friend or whatever that she runs into. And this is a
Right.
guy that's like genuinely into her, thinks the world of her, still thinks she's gorgeous. He's validating
I mean,
her
she
in all the
is
ways
still
she
gorgeous.
well, yes, that's also like a thing we can get into, but it's just like he's basically giving you all these things that you want and that you're kind of been hating yourself over, and you can't even see that in your face or you reject
Mhm.
it because and like I relate to that a lot. I push away
Oh yeah.
people
Oh
who
yeah.
are like
100%.
giving that to me, and I say, "Oh, that's what I want," but then when I'm presented with it, I kind of am like,
Right.
but that's not true. You must have some ulterior motive. Like it really creates these very warped trust issues. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah.
you can't like crack your shell that you've made to protect yourself from it all. Like, and you're so busy judging yourself that you're like, well, I
Mhm.
know I'm right. If they're not saying the same thing, then they're just either wrong or lying. Like, because
It's
you
also
know
like a
you've got to
power.
be right about you.
It's also like a hierarchical thing, and maybe in terms of how she perceives him. She's like, oh well, you're not like a head of a studio telling me this. You're just some Joe Schmo in the street that knew me way back
Yeah,
when.
yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe if he was Harvey or something
Eh,
telling her that, she would maybe believe it
she's
or at least buy into it. But her self-loathing is so far gone by the time we see her that
yeah. But I
you
think
know.
you're right. I think she's turned over her like sense of worth to the Hollywood like mechanism, like to the studio essentially. But yeah, I think that yeah, I guess that's why I disagree with the people who are like they're not real enough because I don't think it's about them. I think it's really about her against her.
It's also like
Um
there's nothing realistic about the world she's. It's all very hyper
yeah, exactly.
realistic or like not hyper realistic, but it's supposed to be like
Right.
over the top, like the colors that she uses, the way she films stuff, like some
Yeah.
of the costumes, even like it's all very like heightened. So I don't know why, because it's interesting because one of the videos I watched for this actually started off comparing it to Black Swan and how Darren Aronofsky filmed that, and like how that is similarly has like a heightened quality to it because it's also about like a mental breakdown of sorts, but that like
Yeah.
when it's not focused on like the balletic aspects, it's all filmed
Yeah.
very real, like very
Yeah.
real world.
Yeah.
It's like very gritty, grimy, normal, as opposed to this where it's just like from the get-go, it's you go out of the
Yeah.
studio and it's still all dressed up like it's a studio set, you
Yeah,
know?
it's a fantasy world because Hollywood is our fantasy, right? And that's why again I'll go back to it like the other characters are not characters so much as they are parts of this world that she is surrounded by and that is constantly affecting her sense of herself. I also think what was I going to say? I think the characters. Because another thing that I was reading people talking about was like that that they always say in the movie, and this is how I think of it. They always say in the movie, you are the same person, right? She and Sue, the young her, are the same person, and so anything that they mess up is going to hurt both of them. And they're like very the voice on the phone and the little card that's like you are one person, very clear about that. But I people were talking about it, but like they don't once they start fighting, like they're clearly not the same personality, like and they're fighting against each other. So I think this is my suspicion. My little sci-fi brain is like, how is this possible that they're fighting each other when they're the same? Okay, so I think they all have the same memories and everything from the point where she injects herself the first time to create Sue. I think from there, all their memories split and they develop different personalities, which is why it gets worse and worse and worse with between them.
Yeah,
And
did
they
they
start like,
ever
doing shit like fucking with each other and like leaving everything dirty and like to screw with each other. Like I think that's what happens is that they both sort of diverge after that point.
it'd be more appropriate for them to say you started out as the same person. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah. Like
diverged in a
I
wood.
think that's what like that's the thing because I was thinking about that and I was like, I think was it shoot, I think it was the new Battlestar Galactica from the
Mm.
like early 2000s where they have the what are they cyborgs whatever they are cyborgs, yeah. Whatever they are. I can't remember what they call them now. But they're all, the numbers and everything. And so whenever one like dies and they take it back and they like download its memories, the next one has that one memories. But then I think there's one point where there end up being two of them, of a couple of them, but they have different memories starting at a different point. Like starting at that point where they were both brought back, the memories are the same
It's a
up to
bit
then, and then they
West
diverge.
it's a bit Westworldy, right? Where they'll take in a model, reconfigure it to do a
Yeah,
different storyline so they don't have, well, until the story pops off, of course, don't
yeah.
have
But
the
these are like
memories of what they did before.
it would be like if you took two of the Westworld robots, gave them the same formatting, and then sent them into
Worlds.
different
Or
worlds. They would they
yeah.
would they would start the same and they would grow completely different. I think that's what happens to the two of them, that their brains are no longer connected. Now
See
they're
them
two
being
separate
like
brains.
a part of the same tree but different branches.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So that's what I think. That's why I think they end up not being the same, exactly the same person. Like they have all the same exact DNA, but their memories are different
but
once they hit that split point.
I imagine like the script takes pains to remind the audience that they're one and the same because precisely because after a certain point it feels like they aren't. And so it's like
Yeah.
it always feels like this confronting thing at a certain point. It's like, remember,
Yeah.
you wanted this, remember she is you, or this, like
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
it's just their way of holding her personally responsible for her choice. I mean, and it's not wrong.
yeah. Well, and I mean it's also foreshadowing, right? Because you're like every time they're like, you are one. If you do anything, you're gonna hurt both of you. And it's like, well, they're gonna do something that fucks both of them up. Something like this is gonna happen because they keep saying it shouldn't happen, not to do it, so it's gonna happen. But also I think, what does it say? The you are one. Oh, the you are one, like even though they're developing different memories and like becoming different people, they still are like inherently have this are the same person, like and have the same personality. They're just the same person with now differing experiences.
Mm.
And so I think like you think about it and you're like, well, if Elizabeth had been young like Sue and had this happen to her, like that's probably the way she would have handled it at that time. Do you know what I mean? Like, or if she got to be the one who was young, I don't know how to explain it, but like
Well, that's like the
I think either one of
heartbreaking.
them could have gone either way.
Yeah.
It's just based on their experiences.
Yeah, I
Nature
mean,
versus nurture, all that BS.
I think that's like the tragic thing of it is like it's always especially painful to watch stories about people that are just doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
Like your own words. I mean, like obviously there's a lot of context behind why she hates herself the way that she does about, the things that society has told her and treated her, especially within the industry she works in.
Right.
But it's like there's several kind of she reaches like several kind of breaking points and always just keeps going, even though and then of course the thing is the sad irony is that at the end she wishes she could be where she started at the beginning, where at 50, before she took the substance. Essentially, it's like
Right.
I didn't know how good I had it, and I wasn't a freaking monster. I am now, but it's just
Yeah.
like I wasn't all these things that people told me and that I kept telling myself for all these years. And it's just like,
Yeah.
you want to just shake her out of this mindset, but it's
Yeah.
also a very relatable mindset too. So it's like, it
Yeah.
really just
Well,
like fucks you up.
I think that's why we have to see how the world treats her and how Hollywood treats her. Because if you didn't and she was just doing this stuff to herself, you wouldn't have any sympathy for her. You'd have no empathy. Like, but seeing the world doing these things to her, then you can be like, you have the context to be like, oh my God, of course she feels this way. Of course she's desperate. Of course she's like going to kill herself. And them casting Demi Moore, someone who is absolutely gorgeous at, she's over 60, right? She's in her 60s playing this role. And she's beautiful. Like I don't know, she's freaking stunning still. And I actually think that she had to be for this message to work. Because if she was older and she wasn't as stunning anymore, if she had a lot of wrinkles, if she had a lot of gray hair, if she had frizzy hair and and was like overweight now or whatever, like whatever our like non-perfect beauty standards are.
Right.
If she didn't meet those perfect beauty standards, it wouldn't be as easy to say, this is insane.
Yeah.
For anyone in the audience to be like, this is insane. This is insane. She is gorgeous. Why
We
are
all
they
see
treating her
her,
like she
right?
is trash to be thrown away? Right. Like if you cast someone who wasn't as gorgeous as her, there would be people in the audience who would be like, well, yeah, but I mean, she's past her prime. She's not really the same in shape girl anymore. It's like, no, 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 she's the exact same in shape girl. She just looks like a grown up woman instead of a girl. Like,
How dare she?
yeah, like you can't argue how insane it is when she is perfect, pretty much. Like, it makes it impossible to not get the point, I
I think it's
think.
one of those instances where like, not that it was like stunt casting, because like she's a good actress. It's not like
Oh,
let's
she's
just,
amazing.
but it's like, I did an episode on Titane, and the director said that she wanted a complete unknown for that because she didn't want audiences to project things from
Right.
her past career or work onto her. And I think it's like the opposite here, where it's like, no,
It's
she's such a
perfect. Yeah.
recognizable person. She was so obviously been sexualized throughout her career and all this stuff that she kind of wants to invite that baggage. And I guess that's why a lot of people thought it was brave of Demi Moore to invite that into her life by taking this,
Right. Right.
because she knew
Yeah,
people
I
would
mean,
kind
it's
of
her
be
it's her
comparing
Sunset
it.
Boulevard,
Oh yeah.
right? It's her Sunset Boulevard. Like, except that honestly, like for Demi Moore, the real actress, like I would be surprised if this does not like reboot her career and get her more like big good roles again. Like, maybe in not maybe in like even like not like the young woman starring roles again or anything, but like good, solid, like mature woman roles, because she nailed this
I
part.
also
Like,
saw her in like another really weird niche film not too long after I saw The Substance, and I'm like, she's just in her era where she's like, fuck it, I've proven myself,
undo whatever I
doing
want.
whatever
Yeah.
I can. She's obviously financially secure. She can make
Oh yeah.
the choices she wants. She's like, I'm gonna get weird with it, and it's gonna be
But I
great.
could see
And
like HBO and Apple TV like going after her for to like carry some like real prestige show.
I do
Like,
like that she's like off the kind of back of this has been very vocal in championing like respecting horror more, especially because like
mm,
obviously it doesn't get nominated and all the kind of Oscar buzz stuff around it like
I
other
was so
genres
mad she
do.
didn't get nominated for an acting award.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was really glad that the movie got nominated. Like, you
Surprising that
never
even
get horror
happened.
movies nominated for best picture. Like, that does not. We had a movie, and I think we had two musicals. I
Anything
know
that's
we
not
I
like
know
a
we
drama or biopic, because like comedy doesn't really make it
Yeah,
into thing
yeah.
either.
Comedies rarely make it unless they're like dramedy. Like, yeah. But I was mad that she did not get at least nominated for acting, because she blew it out of or knocked it out of the park. I was gonna like merge my metaphors, merge my cliches, my whatever, my sayings. She knocked it out of the park. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
she
is.
just blew me away. She was so
I
good.
don't have a problem with her casting in that. I guess people can think it like reinforces like the beauty standards, but really it's like,
Yeah.
or like you were saying, you have to have like if this can happen to someone at her level, someone who we would traditionally see as beautiful, then
Yep.
like what does it mean for everyday people? Like
Right,
that's kind
right,
of,
right. What does it mean for someone like, I'll be honest, for someone like me who
yep.
weighed 98 pounds until my early 30s, then started gaining weight and just didn't never felt good about it, because I never felt good about myself when I was skinny. Don't get me wrong. When I was underweight, I also felt bad about myself, but it got worse when I was overweight and other people started judging me for being overweight.
Yeah.
That made my self worth and my like body image much worse,
Yeah.
because when I was skinny and I felt like, oh, I'm built like a little boy, like people still thought I was pretty and stuff. And now I feel like people don't even like see me that way anymore, because I am much older as well. So I'm going through what she's going through. I'm 49. I'm almost there, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
almost at 50. Um, so that may be another reason this film really resonated with me. But I have always wanted to do something about the way that women are thrown away when we hit a certain age. I mean, usually it's like 40, right? In filmmaking, at least, in Hollywood. But I just feel like there's something about that, and there's something about, honestly, um, I'm gonna get like, this is gender pop. We can talk about women shit, right?
Yes, go for
Um,
it.
going through freaking perimenopause, and like having your emotions like just like my emotions are a roller coaster, because my hormones are a roller coaster. And so like having that, along with like not being viewed as like worthy of like being attracted to, or worthy of like putting up on screen for people to look at. It makes it extra hard because then you're also like really emotional about it all. So it's like it's just a
And then
mess. The
that
whole
gets
thing's a
used
mess.
against you because women are hysterical. And it's just like, man, if you knew
Right.
that
And
half the shit we went through.
but God forbid my mom or anyone else older in my family should have warned me that
Mhm.
perimenopause actually existed.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yep.
everybody's like, no, you go through menopause and then you stop getting your period. It's like, no, no, no. There's like 5 to 10 years where your life is a goddamn mess. Like where, where you are like literally just like holding shit together with like duct tape, trying to get through until you can finally hit actual menopause and just be like done with this shit. Like,
Yeah, the way that it's just like framed where it's just like, oh, you'll go through menopause and then your period stops and that's it. Like without like addressing that's like an entire process that can take years and is like painful and
yeah,
terrible and uncomfortable and like it just is like a waking
you'll be
nightmare.
hot all the time. You'll sweat when you used to never sweat. Like you'll you'll get zits. I literally when I started perimenopause got like those big underneath this is we're going gross, but it's a body horror movie, so let's go there.
True.
I literally got like all these like deep underneath like there's like cystic acne zits
Mm.
all over my face when I started going through perimenopause. It was like I didn't even get zits when I was a teenager like that. Like
It's like,
not
come
even
on, I
close.
thought I
And
was
I
supposed
was
to be
like
over this.
I was like, dude, I'm in my 40s. Like, why is this happening now? Like I had to go get medication for it. It was like it was
Yeah.
really bad. And nobody tells you about these things.
Yeah.
Nobody tells you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you now. Be prepared. It's
Probably
coming
already
for you.
experiencing it, but whatever.
But
All
that's
right.
I think that's something I appreciate about people our age is that we do have the conversations now.
Mm.
And so like I do see like women who are of that age like telling younger women like this is what it is like be prepared, this is what's going to happen, this is how you'll know that it's starting. Like nobody told me any of that.
So I wanted to ask, since you're an experienced filmmaker and everything, especially concentrating in horror, what did you make of Corley's style?
Yeah, I know you're just trying to change the subject because I have been going on about my bodily issues for like 5 minutes, but that's okay, that's okay. No, just kidding. Yeah, I think well, I mean, I like her style. I really like, I can't remember his name, but her cinematographer does like just really fantastic work, like so interesting, so bold is what I would say. It's bold choices, right? There's these that like we talked about in the bathroom, the super close up of him with his nose. There's the bright color, so much red, right? So much red. Um and then yeah, like the sort of the lenses like the wide angled lenses that are like more unflattering. Even and this is not as much of a technical like shooting, but this was the lighting and stuff. There was a scene, and I think this might have been in the video we both watched. They're in the bathroom. Demi comes in and to shoot the scene, I guess is the story. And Corley was like, we're gonna shoot whatever. And Demi was like, no, 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 this lighting is wrong. Like this, she was like, this lighting is wrong. Like they're gonna see like everything in my face. And Corley had to like talk to her and be like, no, like that's exactly what we need to see. Like this is about the tiny little imperfections that you see when you look in the mirror that none of us see. Like we want to see your pores. We want to see the tiny little crow's feet that you've got. Like we need to see all that so that we can see you being disgusted by it, even though it's so small. Like I don't know if that's exactly how she said it, but that's how I saw it. Is that like she needed to see that, and so she like actually like talked to Demi and was like had to be like, no, like we need to see this, and then Demi got it and was like, oh okay, like, and they did it. But I think that was a brilliant choice because although I said before it has to be this gorgeous woman so that you can't argue with this being crazy, right? But you also have to see that she is aging. You have to see that there are little tiny things that she is blowing way out of proportion and turning into like mountains out of molehills, right? Like she has these tiny little crow's feet, and even when you're looking at her with no makeup, she's beautiful. but then she's like, "Ugh, I look awful, right?" And so you need to see the little bit of what she's looking at, or it wouldn't feel real, right? If she had the perfect lighting and like the like filter so that her face was all smooth and was like, "Ugh, ugh," then we would all be like, "Oh, come on, dumbass! Like you're not that bad." But she has to have something, and we have to see it. Anyways, I went on for about that shot for a long time, but I think yeah, that stuff like that was very important. Stuff like all the color, all the like
Mm.
everything looking like so it's like hyper reality, right? It's like it's what we imagine Hollywood to be. It's like it's it's all real stuff, but it's bigger and it's bolder and it's brighter. And then like having her the choice for the production designer to have her apartment be all like very 90s, like everything is very 90s. The picture from her in there is clearly from the 90s. Like it's all and how lucky for them to have an actress who has
Ah,
had a career
yes.
back then. So they had all the damn pictures of her
So many
being
resources.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You just stick her face on some on a on someone in a leotard, and you're good to go. But yeah, like I think the choice to keep her apartment in the 90s is so dead on because it shows in another way that she is so holding on to that past where she was young and skinny and beautiful, and she has the whole wall is taken up at that by that picture of her. And then the the point to make out her huge window, there's the billboard, and then they put Sue up on it, and that's like just to torture her, to remind her that like this is who's getting all of this adulation now, and I'm not actually getting any of it, even though I did it so that I would. Like it's not working out how she planned it at all, right? So yeah, I think a lot of the not only the cinematography, but a lot of the production choices and like costuming choices were just kind of perfect. And again, like a little bit overboard, which I think is perfect for this movie. And then talking about it's not specifically the filmmaking, but if we want to talk about the end for a minute,
Go
um,
ahead.
where she becomes a like literal monster, right? With like she
Monstro
actually has
Liza
both
Sue.
yeah, like she has like both their faces, if I remember correctly. It's
It's
like
like, yeah, one, I think like Elizabeth's like on the back, and then like
yeah, it's like one of
Sue's
them
like
like
on
it's
the
on the back, but
side.
like yeah, and like so they're like not even in the place a normal face would be, either of them. They're both sort of in there, but it's like this bulbous monster, and she's like telling me, no, it's just me, it's still me. And it makes me think, and I do not mean to be mean, but it makes me think of these women who are chasing so much the perfect look or the youth that they once had, who get so much plastic surgery that they look like a leather couch that's like had like Mr. Potato Head like face parts stuck on it. Like the collagen lips
Oh yeah, like
and the like
fish, like
buccal fat injections and
yeah.
the weird like oh too much makeup and too much eyeliner, and they're like
They just look
eyes are
fake,
lifted so
like
high,
plastic.
like
Yeah, it's
yeah, like they look like a mess.
like a real
And
uncanny valley thing going
yeah,
on.
and I think that's what this is. Like this is the same thing. Like you keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, you go so far that it's like, oh God, you have like really messed up. Like you should not
But
have
it's
tried so
also
hard.
like telling society this is what you did to me, though. Like, don't want you think like
Yeah, that
it's
too.
interesting that they have Harvey say like she's my most beautiful creation because it's like, well, like you were saying earlier, you choose someone and spit them back out, and this is like forcing someone to have to look at what they've
Yeah.
done. You know?
Yeah, I'm still me. Like I'm still here. You still have to look at me. You still have to see me. You still have to experience me, right? But yeah, I think I don't know. It's just I also think that this is an interesting story because we are so used, even in horror stories, a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, we are so used to seeing the main character grow and change and become a better person, like the final girl trope. Like she starts out all mousy and then she ends up like standing up for herself, and at the end, like yes, she survived this horrible thing, but she's a better person because of it. She's stronger because of it. this is the person who needs to learn that lesson and just will not. And I think that is such a strong choice. I think if you turned this into her somehow healing and triumphing, it would not make the same impact as it does about what is going on in our society now with all women all over the world, really. Because Hollywood in particular, but like, even like Bollywood, all the other ones, but Hollywood especially affects everyone in the world pretty much's view of
Yeah.
themselves and of the people around them. And yeah, I think that if you tried to make it like, oh, but she healed and she's better now and she's happy with her wrinkles, that is not where this goes. That is not how this story ends. And it's not
I think
gonna
it,
unless
yeah,
we
I think it would really
hell of
like
a lot about our society.
it would really betray the I think intention of being so brutal and grotesque and like
Yeah.
and obviously it's really like refreshing and cathartic when female filmmakers get to do that because it's like well male filmmakers spray their extras and audiences with blood and stuff all the
Yep.
time. It's
Yep.
nice to just see it be so unrelentingly like
Mm.
violent at the end. Not that I like am championing that or anything, but I think
Oh yeah.
anything less than that level of just like rage or vitriol would really
Yes.
strip the film of its, teeth.
I have a great compare and contrast, if I may spoil another movie. Um, Night Bitch. With I think it's Amy
Oh,
Adams. Is it Amy Adams who starts
yeah.
that? Yeah.
I already
So
agree with where you're going.
so it starts out and they're telling you like this is like the horrid, scary life that like mothers in suburbs like live through. This is how they live, and this is what it turns them into. And this is like the whole night bitch thing where she turns into and like so she's got to get her freedom, whatever. But then at the end, she gets back together with the husband, they have another baby, and she's fucking happy. And she's like, it's like all
I
all
need to
like
add this to the
filtered like
list because
dust
that movie.
motes in the light, like everything's beautiful. And I'm like, no, no, that is not a realistic ending. That is not the ending that women like this get. Like, not that I'm saying that women are going to end up without a man and like with like their kid, like, be single moms and whatever, be like struggling. You might still end up with your husband, but you're not going to suddenly like be like, oh, this is perfect. I was just being silly and I love everything about my life. That's not the way it works.
Tara, I hated that it ended with her having a kid.
Oh, it made me so mad.
I was
It made
like,
me
and
so
not
mad
that,
that she had another kid and with the same fucking guy.
but it's like,
It
oh,
was
it's a daughter this time, so it'll be better because she can teach her all the night bitch ways. And it's like, what? They're like, what did it do for you?
so,
Are you making art? Have you got into that or not?
you
You've
are
just
like literally based on what this movie told us, you are just creating another young woman to be tortured and abused. Like that's what you just did.
that movie was so
Sunlight coming in through the
frustrating.
window. It's perfect. So that is part of why I appreciate the substance so much
Yeah.
because it goes hard and it stays
Willing
hard
to
and it
go
hits
there
hard.
and
Like
it's
it is
willing
not
to, yeah.
and it's willing to say this doesn't just get fixed and become okay for women.
Mm.
This doesn't just go away because you got some therapy and you did some meditation and you used the Calm app or whatever and now you're happy with yourself. Like that's not how this shit works.
Oh,
It's bigger than that. It's worse than that. It's more endemic than that. Like you can't just fix things that way. I think that's, you asked me in the beginning that why I wanted to talk
mm.
about this movie. And I think that right there is why I wanted to talk about it because it does not,
Yeah.
for lack of a better
Capitulate
word, push
and
sunshine up your ass at the end.
it ends up reinforcing all the things it was trying to critique. Like, what are you doing, night bitch?
Right, right. It's like, oh, you were up, you were feeling bad about it, but you just have to be a good mom and wife. And
Please
you'll feel
procreate
better.
now.
Yeah,
You
please
still
have
got
another
that dog in
kid.
you.
Kill me now, dear God.
That is a very good contrast in terms of really
Yeah,
like
and came out in like the same
giving up
year or
your
early
intent
12s.
or yeah, that's yeah. I
Yeah,
just remember watching The Substance and I was just like, fuck yeah, go for it. Do it. Like
yeah.
especially it's
Night
like
Bitch was so
yeah.
disappointing, and then to see, I think I saw Night Bitch first, and then I saw Substance,
Okay.
and I was like, oh, thank God. Like, Thank
Yeah,
God
someone who
they like
gets it.
let it be horrible
Yeah.
and and stay horrible and not get fixed and not tack on some dumbass happy ending just because American audiences like a happy ending.
I'm just like, yes, let
Yeah.
women be ugly in every sense. Like, let it
Yeah.
just be, let it, yeah. I'm always happy when I can see like female storylines just get to be really like fucked up and not worry about the
Yes.
aesthetics of it. Like,
Yes. Well, when we let women, and this is totally different genre, but this is why one of the reasons I love Bridesmaids,
hmm,
because it was one of the earlier movies that let women make gross humor, right?
yeah.
Like literally the
I get
bride
diarrhea
trying on
too,
dress
guys.
shits
Sorry.
herself in the street, like
Yeah.
in public. Like they're like when they have the whole diarrhea thing, they're like shitting in the sink and stuff at the like bridal place.
Shop. Yeah.
Yeah, the bridal shop. Like nobody had done that with women before. Like women weren't allowed to just be gross and have bodily functions and like I think the worst we could get was like a woman farts and like like this is like they let women do that and they let the main character like be fucking up and be not being a good friend and like have to learn that like she needs to like get her shit
She
together and
needs to take
like
accountability for herself.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that she needs to take accountability. We see that in men's films all the time. We do not see that as much in women's films. We
Yeah.
don't we either want to make women like, well, the virgin, the whore,
Madonna
or the
or
crump,
Horcom.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we either want to make a woman like perfect and whatever and like she's a good gal. She's just a little shy and she needs to learn to come out of her shell or like she's evil. She's just flat out evil like she's a supercilious bitch. She's a Regina George, whatever. Or she's some old lady who we're either afraid of or who is wise and we learn from. These are the roles we get.
Well, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the question of the hag character that I don't know if I mean like obviously I knew of the character, but I don't think I realized that it was like kind of a historical film trope throughout the years. I guess I
Yeah,
just never
yeah.
pieced it
Yeah.
together. I'm like, well, I've seen all these movies and I've seen these characters, and I never kind of pieced it together what it kind of was reflecting. And I saw a video analysis probably even before I saw the substance that was talking about the hag character, and which is like it's typically like an older woman who's kind of portrayed as
Mhm.
being dried up, often childless,
Right.
could never get a man. She's campy and she's crazy. Like
Mhm.
think of like I think a common one they used in the video analysis was Who's Afraid of Baby. Oh my God, what's the title of that?
Who's
Baby
afraid of
Jane.
Virginia
Which
Woolf? Oh,
no,
oh, oh no. Whatever happened to Baby
that's
Jane?
it. I was like, who's the I was
Yeah. Oh,
merging the
that
two.
was so
Yeah.
good.
And so it was kind of like
Yeah.
talking about using that as an example of like kind of the hag character, and
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of accuse the kind of more monstrous version of Liz. They kind of like called it kind of like a golem version
Yeah.
of like saying like, oh, the scariest thing they could possibly think of is just like a regular old looking woman. And I'm like, did you watch this film? That's not.
Yeah. What were they seeing? Because that was not anything like any human I have ever seen. That looked like something out of like fucking like H.P. Lovecraft, like, practically or like I'm trying to think of like one of like the horror movies that had stuff like that. Like, one of those
It's
like
very
80s
Cronenberg.
movies is very Cronenberg, but like one of those 80s movies where like you get the like hideous, disgusting monster that is not at all like humanoid. Like it was bare it had two arms and two legs and that's about as humanoid as it got. Maybe it had more than two arms. I can't remember. Might have had more. Might have
It
had
had
extra
like
limbs.
it had like five tits.
Yeah, yeah. Like it had like extra everything. That is
Like
not what.
yeah, it was
That is.
not meant to be like an anatomically correct human body.
Yeah, I do not think that that was in any way, shape, or form meant to be like, oh, and then women just get all old and gross, and like that's the worst thing in the world for anybody. I think it was meant to be. This is one the result of what she's done to herself. And two, not because it's old, but because she is monstrous, right? At this point, like this is the worst thing she could probably imagine for herself. is being like this hideous monster, but I think they purposely didn't make her look like just an old, ugly hag. Like they could have had her be like one person with like a melted face or something, or like her hair all go gray, or like one side of her face be Demi and one side of her face be what's her name? Be, one side be Elizabeth and one side be Sue or something like that. And she would have looked more like a human. And then I might have said, yeah, they're kind of doing the like ugly women are the worst thing in the world thing. They made her a literal monster, like a literal monster.
I want
And
people to
also, I
dress up
think that
like
that was a
Monster
little
Alyssa
bit,
too.
well, also, I think that was a little bit like bringing her inside out. If you think about like, because her soul was like, they,
Yeah, it's
Elizabeth
a
and
very
Sue
good
were
point.
horrible people. They're awful people. They are ugly inside because they have been so damaged by our society that they have become these ugly, like just shriveled little things in their souls. And so that is now like visible outside. That's what I think. I think those are the
Yeah,
sort of the two ways that goes. I don't think it's at all the hag. I don't think it's even close to the hag character
yeah.
trope.
I again, since I saw the movie afterwards and finally could put context to what they were talking
Yeah.
about, I didn't read it that way at all and was very
Mm.
confused. It felt like they were just trying to like find something to be upset about with the film.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, there's plenty of other like
There were a
crappy
few
things
that I
that
read
happened.
where I was like, you're just trying to find something to nitpick people. Come on. And I will say my one sort of like mild complaint is that it is a long movie. It runs pretty speedily, but I do feel like that like once she becomes the like monster, that like scene there is like a bit long. Like I do feel a
Yeah.
little bit like that scene just sort of drags, and that they could have fit everything that they wanted to say with that scene into like half the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I also get as a filmmaker, I made this amazing like I think it's practical effects too. I should have looked that up. I think it might be practical effects. It looked
There were
like
a
it was
lot.
organic in there.
I don't know. Did you see the behind the scenes thing that Mubi released for it? It's like 30 minutes long.
No. Oh God, I
And they
watched
have
that.
a whole section. I watched it like immediately after watching the movie because I remember
Yeah.
seeing it on YouTube and I was like, well, I don't want to check that out till I've seen it.
Yeah.
And there's an entire, it's an amazing behind the scenes bit, and I'm gonna link to it in the blog post on the
Yeah.
website. Um, but there's like a good chunk of it dedicated to just like basically a lab they created to do all the practical
Yep.
effects, and it
Yeah.
shows
Okay.
them, and it's
Because
amazing.
watching it, I am a big fan of practical effects. Um, I love them. My second short film, my first like real short film with a crew and stuff. My first one was like a baby film that I made before I even knew anything. But my first like real short film, um, I actually had some special effects makeup artists create a two tentacles for me, and they were
Oh,
like puppets, and they were like each one was like 6, 7 feet long. But they were gorgeous. And so I get this, like you have created this thing, you've spent this money, you have had this artist like create this amazing thing, you want it on screen,
yeah.
like you want people to see it. So I get kind of how it would be really tempting to make that scene long, like last,
Yeah, like we're gonna
because
get
like
our money's worth.
I paid a lot of money for this thing. We're gonna get it shown. We're gonna see every angle of it, right? Like I can see that. But I do think that there was a little bit of like, could have killed your baby a little bit there and like shortened that scene. It's hard. It's hard to kill those things that you fall in love with while you're making a film, while you're writing a screenplay, or while you're like actually shooting the film. Like you'll fall in love with things, and sometimes you have to like listen to somebody else who's like, you love this. It is not the film.
You need
Like it
people
is
around you
not the
that are
thing for
gonna
this
keep you
film.
honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to fight for those things. Like my last short film, I had to fight for this one shot that my first AD, who was like trying to keep us on time and stuff, was like, we don't have time for this shot. And I was like, no. This shot is it like sells the movie. Like this shot is like the very important opening, like early shot in the movie, and it like sets the whole movie up. And my cinematographer and I fought him on that, and we did keep that in, and I was right about that one. But there was another scene that I really liked that just didn't work when we shot it. It wasn't the pacing wasn't right, and we had only shot it on one lens because we thought it would be neat to do this diopter shot where they're both in focus. It was like this whole thing, and it just did not work, and it was slowing down the whole film. And I had to cut it, even though I felt like it was a really important, revealing moment for the mother's character. We just had to cut it. It just did not work. And the film worked without it. It
Yeah.
didn't have quite the like nuance that I wanted, but it worked. And so I had to let that one go. But so you have to, like, as a director, I think, really feel these things, and you don't always have a choice. Sometimes it's really hard. So I don't blame her for that.
Yeah.
That's like for me a nitpick, like not a like, oh, this killed the movie. It's just
Well,
like a little
also,
nitpick.
like,
You could have made that scene shorter.
she probably saw this as like her one big chance to do a big, like, go out, go big or go home,
Yeah,
man. Because
yeah.
like
Right.
Hollywood 8K is knocking on your door and giving you this thing, and they might not
And
do it
she went
again.
big the whole
So,
way. Like
yeah,
she did not play. Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
think it was,
definitely
yeah.
watch
That's
that because
that's
they
my
show
only
you.
thing that I would say is you could have shortened that scene. But like everything else, mwah. You know what
So
other
good.
visual thing I loved?
Mhm.
I loved them opening with her star being laid down
Yeah,
on the walk of on the walk of fame or whatever it's called,
yeah, Hollywood Walk
on
of
the
Fame.
Hollywood. Thank you. I'm like I don't know, I'm a filmmaker, I forget these words, I should know these, but on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, like when they're setting her star down, it's all shiny and new and perfect, and they like clean it up after they put the cement around it and all that stuff. It's like so carefully set in there to be perfect, and then the time just passes and it gets older and dustier and it gets a
Like
crack and
the
like
guy like
leaves are
spills
blowing
ketchup on
across
it.
it. Yeah, like people are walking over, someone drops their food out. Like it's so it's literally like the whole movie up to now in a nutshell. Like it is literally like her career up until the point where we see her in the movie, and you are meeting her when she is that star that is cracked and has like ketchup spilled on it, right? When there's or when Hollywood thinks she's that, at least, because the star is obviously not what she is. It is what Hollywood thinks of her and how much Hollywood respects her and loves her and cares about her. And so we're starting at the point where like it's just Hollywood doesn't care about you anymore. You're done.
And
Nobody's
then they
gonna
bookend
nobody's
it
gonna like,
nicely by ending it there too.
yeah, yeah. But it's like you're done. Nobody's gonna clean up your star. Nobody's gonna fix the crack. Like we're done with you.
You're just like a blob in the sewer now. Sorry. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't she? Am I remembering it correctly? Am I making this up? Doesn't she, when she's the monster, doesn't she like blow up at the end?
yeah,
Am I
she's
making
like
that up? Okay,
walking
yeah.
out of the
I thought
studio
so.
and like she just combusts and I think
That's
like
what I thought. She
her
just,
face
okay.
crawls away. It's so gross.
That's what I thought. I was like, I haven't seen this in a few months. Did I make that up in my head that that happened? Because that is really awesome. I was
I
like,
think
is the movie actually that awesome, or did I make that up in my head?
I think one of the kind of standout lines from the film for me is when she runs into that other substance taker at the diner or whatever. And it's like when she's first starting to feel the adverse effects
Hmm,
of the
hmm.
substance and
Oh,
is starting to become the monster that we'll see later.
right.
And he's going on and about it and everything. And he's much further along in the process, so understands kind of what's happening to her and everything. And he's going on about the aging and how society sees it and just says,
Yeah,
it gets hard to believe you deserve to exist. And
yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
oh boy. Like, I mean, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
I'm sure everyone's felt that at some
yeah,
point. I feel like that's like the most universal kind of
yeah,
line in it or commentary in it, where it's just like we've all been made, especially by society at large, to feel so small and worthless.
yeah.
And it's just
And
like,
it's happened. And we're talking about women. It's happened to everyone. We're all having this done to us.
for
Women are
sure.
just getting it like worse
Yeah.
because we always have.
Well, I think
From
it's important that
time
guys that
immemorial.
it's a man saying that to her. So it's like men are also
Yeah,
opting in to do this and are
yeah. The men
also
are also feeling
victims
this
of it.
way.
Yeah.
All the men doing the weird like chads and like your chin is too weak and all that stuff. But also, I want to get back to the visuals, because you just
Yeah.
reminded me of when you were talking about the things getting worse and worse and grosser. There there are the moments like in the shower, but like in the bathroom when they're changing and they're naked, and especially there's like the Demi Moore is like, you see everything,
Full.
right? You
Yeah.
just see everything, full frontal and rear nudity. And I thought, well, one, I mean, that's very brave for her. Like, I don't want to say it's brave because it shouldn't have to be brave to be like a
Just a
60-year-old
body.
woman and let people
Yeah.
see. your incredibly fit and like gorgeous body, but I know that's scary. So
Yeah.
good on her. But two, I think it was such an important element of the movie that you have that vulnerability that
Mm-hmm.
you can
Mm-hmm.
see all of her. And she is fit and she is still beautiful. So there is still that aspect of she's still beautiful. But it's
It's
also
all
like
subjective.
she's so just it's like her emotions naked, raw. She's completely in like no defenses.
Yeah.
Um and I think that's kind of a beautiful scene. And it's it's this thing that this woman who is beautiful, sexually very attractive still,
Hmm.
but it's not done in a sexual way. It's done in a
Yeah.
very
Clinical.
there are parts of the movie that look at both of them in very sexual
Yeah.
male gaze ways. But that moment where she is the most nude and the most vulnerable, it is not sexual at all. And I think that's a very, very smart choice. To
Yeah.
only sexualize them when they're dressed.
I'm a very big fan of movies that don't sexualize nudity, especially female nudity,
Yeah.
where they just very normalize it. It's like, oh, it's just a bunch of women walking around the locker room after hitting the gym or whatever. And it's nothing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not, yeah, it's not
Like
hyper
that French movie we
sexualized.
watched.
Yeah.
It was so nice though to just see women out there like just walking around with their boobs out, like
Yep.
running with no shirt like a man would. And it's like, why can't we do that? Like, come
Why can't we
on. I
have
would
that
like to take
world?
my shirt off when it's 98 degrees out. Like,
Yeah.
that would be nice, but we can't.
Yeah, this film's
Yeah,
very
so
smart about how it films the women where it knows when to
yes.
obviously sexualize it and when to not. And
Hmm,
it's obviously
hmm, hmm.
it's telling that well, I was gonna say it's telling that it's often not sexual when she's alone. And obviously Sue comes
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
picture, but she does, I mean, obviously when Sue first comes into the
But
picture, it's filmed very sexually because you're supposed to be making the comparison, but it's like
yeah, but she's also really pretty much only sexualized when it's the male, when there are males there to see her,
yeah.
if I remember correctly. Like she is not sexualized when she's alone in the bathroom. Like she is maybe idolized as like beautiful, like we see her beautiful skin and this and that, but like it's when like she's on camera and they're like closing up on her boobs while she's exercising, like that's the very like male gaze, right? Like, yeah, I love this movie. It's if you can't tell, it's one of my favorite movies in a long time. I just think it's so
Yeah.
smart. It's so yeah, it's just I keep saying it, but it goes hard. It just goes hard. And I
I
love to see anyone going hard like that, but especially I love to
yes.
see a women filmmaker get to make a film like this.
You
Someone had
know,
to help her and give her this opportunity, and
mm,
fucking good on them. Yeah.
she passed up doing Marvel's Black Widow to do this, which I think is badass. She was offered to do
That
Black
is
like the first
badass.
Black Widow, and she's like, "No, that's not what I'm interested in," and
That
did
is
this
absolutely
instead.
badass. And she made the right choice.
Yep.
This film is going to, I think, at least be a cult hit for a long
Yes.
time.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
going to stand the test of time, and I think it's
Black
absolutely
Widow's going to
the
be a
right
flash
decision.
in the pan. Like nobody cares about these superhero movies for real. Like they're not going to last.
I mean, she
Everybody
just
loves them
obviously
right
had
now.
such a vision for what she wanted to do with this. And again, she was like,
Yeah.
it might be now or never, so I'm gonna relish it.
So smart. I can't wait to go watch her older movie, Revenge.
Oh God, I can't wait to see what she does next.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's
All
so
right.
nice to have like another horror filmmaker to idolize instead of just like being
Yes.
like Ari Aster and Robert
This is
Eggers. I love them both, but I'm like, can I have a girl to be like, yes, you're so hardcore. I love you. It's
I,
Coralie.
all right. Well, that's the substance. Do you have any final thoughts on it?
Oh my gosh. I think I
So
gave you
many.
so many. I just honestly, I think just if you haven't seen it
Mm.
and you are not too squeamish about like body horror, go see it. Like, go
Even if
see
you
it.
are, I'm not the biggest body
I
horror
mean,
person,
yeah,
but it's like,
I
man,
want to say,
challenge yourself.
absolutely everybody should see it, but I do understand that some people like will literally faint if they see blood on on
That's
film
true. That's true.
or like will puke or something. So I'm like, if you're really like sensitive, I get it. But if you at all think you can handle it, it is so worth seeing. It is so good. It's also, you know what we forgot to mention?
Hmm.
It's freaking hilarious.
Yes, it has a good sense of humor
It's
about it.
so funny. That is another thing I love. But I love horror comedy. I'm a huge horror comedy fan. But
Yeah.
this is like, it is not funny in the way like in the way like Tucker and Dale versus Evil is funny, right? Where it's like there's so many jokes and you're like sort of poking fun at them and at the group of kids who end up coming to that area. It's like situationally funny.
It's campy to an
Um
extent. It's
and
pulpy to
yeah,
an
it's a little
extent.
campy, but it's like I don't know, it's just very smart the way it's funny. I
Yeah,
really like it. It's not like I guess the difference is it's not like telling jokes. Like
right.
people aren't making quips. It's just
It's satirical in its own unique way.
inherently hilarious. Yeah, because it's satirical and farcical and kind of
Yeah,
campy. And that also, I think, makes the gore a little bit easier to handle.
yeah,
Like, I think
definitely.
some of the score, if we saw it in a movie that was like really serious, I would be like, like during it. But because it's like so funny and because this world is so fantastical, it's easier to watch the gore. It makes it more fun to watch than like scary to watch. It makes it's yeah, it's like more fun, ew, gross, than it is like oh, scared, like
It's fun and it's
horrible.
devastating all at once. It's a
Yes,
very
it's
fine line.
everything.
Yeah, its tone is
Everything. It's
really
so good.
great. So I would
And
definitely,
that's really nice too in a movie that could get preachy,
yes,
right? It's dealing with
yep,
such a serious, hard topic. It could have taken a really preachy turn, but instead it was satirical and fun and funny and just smart.
yep.
That's the last thing I wanted to say. There we go.
Fantastic. It's a
Put
great
a button
note
on
to end on. Thank you
it.
so much, Tara, for coming on Gender Pop. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. It was really fun.
That's a wrap on our conversation around The Substance. That really is a movie one could go on about forever, but I have a candy colored jazzercise class to get to. As always, please check the episode notes for info on Tara's work, as well as a link to the official podcast site. Check out all the things, as every engagement counts. And if you like what you heard, do describe and share this podcast. It's really the only way Gender Pop will keep going. Be well, take no shit, and I will see you around the next time. Thanks for listening.